In this video we talk about outbreeding devices. Outbreeding devices. See, most of the plants have the bisexual flowers. See here, the pollen grains are, see here, come in contact with the stigma of the same flower, which means here self-pollination which is occur, which means what happened here, continuous self-pollination which leads to the inbreeding depression. Continuous self-pollination which is leads to the inbreeding depression. So the flowers may have the different types of the many devices, or plants may have the adaptations or the contrivances. Plants may have contrivances to the cross pollination, which means here it encourages the cross pollination and it discourages the self pollination. We have to see some outbreeding devices. First one, see here the dichogamy. Here the androecium. Here the androecium and gynoecium of the bisexual flowers they have the different. Their maturity timing is different, which means here the androecium or the pollen grain, the androecium and gynoecium, they are mature at different timings. That is called dichogamy. It is maybe two types. Protandry, protogyny. Here the protandry, which means here the androecium is mature earlier than the gynoecium. Androecium is mature earlier than the gynoecium. That is called protandry. Here the pollen grains are released, but here the stigma receptivity is not synchronized. The receptivity is not synchronized in the protandry. Here it means here the gynoecium is immature. Here the only androecium is the mature. Here, which means what is that? Androecium is mature earlier than the gynoecium. That is called protandry. Example, sunflower. And next one, that is protogyny. Here what happened here? The gynoecium is mature earlier than the androecium. That is called protogyny. Here what happened? Stamens are immature here. Here the stamens are immature here. Here what we think here, which means it leads to the cross pollination. It encourages the cross pollination. It avoids the self pollination process. That is the main devices. Here, which means here it is encourages the cross pollination and avoid the self pollination. Here the example of the protogyny is datura and solana. And next outbreeding devices, hercogamy. Here the stamens and the stigma are arranged at different position in the same flower. That is called hercogamy. Which means here what happened here? They are arranged at different position. Which means it encourages the cross pollination. And avoid the self pollination. Example, see here hibiscus gloriosa and gloriosa superba. And next one, heterostealy. Here in some plants, in some flowers of the plants, we have the lengths of the style is different heights. Here the style's height is different in the same species. The lengths of the styles is different in the same species. That is called heterostealy. Which means different lengths. The style which is arranged in different lengths in the flower. That is called heterostealy. Here, example the Primula, Oldenlandia, Lythrum, and some species of the Oxalis. And next outbreeding technique, there is a self-sterility. See here the pollen grains are released from the anther to the stigma, but the pollen grains are not germinated. That is called self-sterility. that is called self-sterility, which means here the pollen grains are released from the anther to the stigma in the flower, in the same flower, Here what happens, the pollen grains are not germinated. That is called self-sterility, which means it enhances indirectly, it enhances or it encourages cross-pollination. Here that is called self-sterility. Here, but these pollen grains, not germinated on the stigma of the same flower. Here these pollen grains are transferred to the another flower of the same plant, that will be germinated. That pollen grains are germinated and they are participated in the pollination process. Here this is the genetical condition. Here this is the genetical mechanism which is present in this some species to prevent the self pollination, which means it encourages the cross pollination. Example, Abotilam and Passiflora. And next decline. Next one, there is decline or unisexuality. That unisexuality. Here the uni, which means one sex, only one sex. Here either male or female. Here some plants may have either male flowers or female flowers. That is called unisexuality. Here some plants have only the male flowers. That is called staminate flower. That is called the male plant. We are calling the male plant. Male plant have only the androecium. Male plant have only the male flowers, which means that flower contains only the androecium, not the gynoecium. That contains only the androecium. That is called staminate flower, which means the flower which contains only the androecium. And some plants produce pistillate flowers, which means here female plant. That is plant called female plant, which means the female plant produces pistillate flowers, which means female flowers, which means they are containing only the gynoecium. That flowers contain only the gynoecium, not the androecium. That flowers is called pistillate flowers, which means here the sexual organs have, see here, these are the either male or female. They are calling that is called unisexuality. Here the plants may have male flowers or female flowers, either male or female. That is called unisexuality or declining. Example, Wallisneria. Next, monoecious. Here the monoecious. Here the plants may have both male and female flowers in the same plant. Here the plant may have both flowers, male flowers and female flowers. Plants have both male and female flowers. That is called monoecious. Examples here, the castor and maize. See here, these plants are having the male and female sex organs. That is called monoecious. The plants are called monoecious. It prevents autogamy. But not geitonogamy. And see here dioecious. Which means here the male and female flowers, male and female plants are in a different. Male and females are different, which means the male plant produces only the male flower, female plant produces only the female flower, which means the male plant containing only the male flower, which means it contains the only androecium, and female plant produce the female flowers, which means it contains only the gynoecium, not the androecium. That is called dioecious. Examples in here, the papaya. The papaya plant, these are having the male plant having the male flowers and the female plant having the female flowers, which means here it is enhances it. Here it is encourages the cross pollination. It encourages the cross pollination and avoid the self pollination. So these are the outbreeding devices. Thank you.